What's up?
What's up, everybody?
This is a unique backdrop for a coffee chat.
It's a coffee chat, guys.
Yes, so we are doing a coffee chat on the road. We have our coffee.
We got a coffee.
I got, what are you drinking first, Justin?
This is the cinnamon caramel nitro cold brew.
What do you think about it?
That's a mouthful. Okay, so there's tons of cinnamon. You see that? I gotta keep my ass on the road. There's tons of cinnamon on here, but when I smell it, it reminds me of like one of those cinnamon graham crackers. It brings me back to like grade school. Remember those?
Yes, I do. The cinnamon were the best.
Oh, it smells amazing.
I've had this before,
really
but
like it.
Mine has never looked like his. He got like a ton of cinnamon on top, and apparently, I'm drinking iced white chocolate Americano. Yeah, iced Americano with white chocolate, a little bit of half and half. So, yes, those are our drinks. We're gonna chat with you guys, answer some questions you guys gave us.
It's gonna be great.
It'll be fun.
It's gonna be nice because we don't have an external mic, and so you're gonna hear a little bit of road noise because the external mic's not gonna work. But it's part of the coffee chat road trip experience.
Right, and it's not gonna be this angle because my arm would die. It's already dying.
We're gonna mount
So we have it mounted right here, but it'll be fun. We are on the road to Twin Falls, so doing a little mini road trip. My dad lives there, so we'll see him. It's gonna be fun. So we thought, why not do our coffee chat on the road? So this should be fun.
Okay, we are ready to go. I don't know how this is gonna sound. I don't know how this is gonna look. I know the camera's shaky a little bit. We'll probably try to fix a little bit of it in post, but it's a road trip coffee chat. I mean, this is what we're gonna get. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on the road. Lacey's gonna be looking at you. I'm not. So.
And I'll be looking at the questions.
Yeah. So anyway, we're driving. It's like you're in the car with us. Anyway, sometimes we like to do these little like overnight road trip kind of things, like simply because when things just get like really busy in life, and you know what I mean, sometimes it's just nice just to get a breath of fresh air. And it's only like a 24-hour period. We got to be back tomorrow for Landon's football game. So it's literally like an overnight trip, but just the fact of leaving, like getting some dinner tonight, going to a restaurant, having the kids play in the pool at the hotel, raiding the vending machine, something like that. I don't know. It's just it's nice.
It is fun.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, as a kid, like, it was just so fun to stay at a hotel. Like, there's just something about staying at a hotel. It's just, like, the funnest thing. And I remember even doing it, like, where we lived. And I still have memories of that and vacations, you know, because it was just...
Well, I mean, we do staycations where it's just
pool.
Downtown Boise.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's kind of fun doing a little road trip, too, while we're at it. But,
I
don't know. You'll see us doing some more of these this summer, most likely. But anyway, all right. Well, I guess we actually asked for questions this morning, and you guys, as always, delivered. So we appreciate it. There's a lot of questions.
Yes. What did Justin do when he worked for Apple? You were Steve Jobs' right-hand man.
I was Steve Jobs. Well, Steve Jobs has been dead, but it's Tim Cook's right-hand man.
Oh, Tim Cook.
I did a little bit of everything, I guess. How I started was what they call it. Well, things have changed since then, but it was called a red zone specialist. Basically, I was on the sales floor and I was selling product. It's kind of like the entry point, I guess. I moved up quite a bit in different things. Had the opportunity to open up an Apple store in Portland for the grand opening, which is awesome. It's like their store is like as big as a city block. Had the opportunity to travel and open up the Steve Jobs Theater in Cupertino. It's starting to rain if you guys hear that.
Yeah.
In Cupertino, California. That was awesome. So I got to do a little bit of traveling and stuff. But I ended up being what they called a creative pro. And so basically I taught people how to use like editing software, taught people how to record and do video and photography, and just taught a lot of classes. That's kind of what I did. I was kind of like the lead of all of our creative team at Apple. So.
And you were there for what, like
8 years?
Yeah.
So anyways, it was great. 8 years of my life there. And I honestly probably would still be there. I honestly might have even maybe took more of a corporate job to Cupertino area. That was kind of the track I wanted to go and stuff. But, you know, there was just, the Lord had a different path for me to go. But it was a great time while I was there. Learned a lot. A lot of great things. I mean, it was one of those things where, you know, Apple is one of the most successful companies in the world, and to be able to be in a leadership role there, you just learn a lot. You know, you're able to have a lot of life lessons for just practical things, but also for business things and everywhere in between. So yeah, it was great.
Something really cool too. You like, if you work for Apple, you can work like at any store. Didn't you tell me one time? So like, if
we went traveling and stuff,
you could work at another Apple store at another place, which shows me like they're very consistent in how they run things. Because a lot of places couldn't do that. Also, in case you guys are wondering, boys are in the back there. They got their shows, and Junie is finally sleeping. She's been wanting to take a nap, and we were like trying to hold her off until we got in the car.
She's like, please, I need a nap. I'm like, just hold on.
I feel like she'll be out the whole road trip, but we'll see. Okay, this one says, how to adjust from working to being a stay-at-home mom. First baby due this July. Congratulations on your baby due in July. We have another friend we were just talking to today at church. They have a baby due in July, and I'm so excited because, like, I just love, like, just hearing about people's birth experiences, especially first baby, because our friends, it's their first time having a baby, and just becoming parents, and like, that's so fun. But anyways, to answer your question, that's been, you know, my life this year has been an adjustment, because I've taught forever, always worked out of the house, and then when we had Junie, we decided for me to stay home, and we started our editing business. So I am working from home still, but it's been an adjustment, but it's been really, really good. And I can't say, because people have asked me, like, what do you like better? Because I love teaching. Like, I really do. And I think I will go back to teaching one day. But for the season I'm in, and we kind of feel like, to answer another question, we kind of feel like Junie's the last baby.
What question was
somebody
that?
Later says, any more kids, I think. Like, yeah, are you guys going to have more kids? We just feel, I think we're done. And so knowing that as well, just being at home with Junie, I'm like savoring it like so much, just because it's like, it goes by so fast. And I feel like everybody says that, but somebody said to me one time, like, the days are long, but how is it? The days are long, but the years are short. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
But basically saying like the days seem so long.
I can't believe Landon's already 7.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, you're just like, wait, what?
Yeah, and like sometimes the things you do, like, you know, feel mundane. Like some days it's just like, you know, changing diapers and feeding and baths and, you know, just stuff like that. But then it's like, you know, it feels like a long day, but then it, like, a week goes by and I look at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's growing so fast. Like, she's doing this now, like, slow down. It's like the weirdest thing. But to answer kind of your question, because you said how to adjust, I feel like one thing, just give yourself like a lot of grace, and with your expectations you have, because I know for me, I was like, well, I'm going to be home, and so my expectations were like, I'm going to be more, you know, in control of this, or I'm going to have more organized this or that, you know, just like expectations. But then it's like, well, Lacey, now you also have like 3 kids, like, and you only had 2 before, and it's a baby, and it's just, you know, things change. So just don't like set expectations. Like, nothing wrong with setting goals of things you want to do, but things that you're like, feel like you're never going to meet and get disappointed in yourself, I think that's hard. And give yourself a lot of grace, because it's going to look different, you know. When you're out of the house, it's nice because nobody's making a mess, nobody's putting dishes in the sink, you know, but you're also out of the house. So being home, you know, there's more of that stuff. And, you know, I'm just like, it just is going to look different. And so you just do adjust to it in that way. But yeah, so I would just say, give yourself grace, but also just really enjoy your time with your baby. So again, congratulations. So how do you deal with negativity? Example, comments online, weird looks while vlogging, etc. Justin, how do you deal with negativity via?
You know, it's kind of crazy because as like our YouTube channel, like this is a good question, because as our YouTube channel grows, like also the trolls grow, like the people that, you know, and I think sometimes there's negativity in a couple different ways. There's negativity and maybe someone's not really trying to be a troll, but they're just really trying to express their opinion, or I don't know how, if they don't really understand how to have a good conversation. They just come across very rude.
Yeah.
I think sometimes, and you can take it as very offensive. I guess the thing is sometimes I don't think people realize how offensive people can be sometimes. What do you think? And
yeah,
then,
I agree.
And then there's full on just people who are just being a jerk, like full on jerk mode.
Because it's always hard when somebody says a comment, you know, in the comment section, and you're like, oh, what did they mean by that? Just like a text, you know, and you're like, wait, because you can't tell their tone. But then there are some that we've gotten, we're like, well, they definitely meant to be,
and so,
be a jerk.
And so I think the thing is sometimes we always try to assume positive intent. So the reality is unless we realize it's a full on just like negative comment on something, we're just kind of like, well, you know, maybe they meant it this way, and we just leave it at that. But if there's full on like negativity and they're doing anything that's really like very offensive to my family, I will delete it immediately. And won't even let Lacey look at it. I won't even let anyone see it, and I'll get it off pretty fast. Because I'm just like, there's no need for that. Like, there's no need, you know, for that. So anyway, I guess to answer your question, how do we deal with it? For me, like, I know it sounds so cliche, but I just don't let it get to me. I just, you know, I realize that there's a lot. I realize the statement, hurt people. And that's just the reality of wherever you're at, is hurt people who are hurt themselves by whatever, some insecurity, some jealousy, some whatever it is, they hurt people. It's just better for me to just realize, you know, there's a lot of hurt people out there. And I kind of look at that angle of more of just like, I just feel bad for them. I feel bad that they have to be negative. Yeah. Because like, what a life for them to live, to always have to be so negative. I feel bad for them. So that's the angle I take. It's just having just grace and understanding. Like, I mean, I'm always taught of love God and love his people. Like, and that's what we're supposed to do. That's what the Bible says. It's to love God and love his people. Like, that's the commandment is to love God with everything. Our heart, you know, our mind, soul, heart. And I think that's just kind of what I transitioned to negativity with. It's just like, well, you know, I'm called to love his people, and unfortunately there's a lot of hurt people, but there are people that are abusive in the way they go about it, and I you know, I don't look at it again. I don't look at it twice. I don't look at a comment twice. If something was offensive, it's gone. I don't look at it and read it and continue reading. You know what I mean? How that happens is you get a text from somebody and you read it like 100 times, and just like, get it away. Just get it away, get out of your life, move on. Yeah. So. And then
another thing that they said was like weird looks when we're vlogging and stuff. Like, I feel like that has definitely taken time, but it doesn't really bother me as much. Like, I feel just because it's just part of our life and we enjoy it. So before I would feel like super awkward. Yeah. And it's still, there are times where I'm just like, okay. But
I think honestly, like a lot of vloggers will always feel the same. It's always weird. Sometimes someone's like watching you all weirdly when you're filming.
What are you doing?
But end of the day, it's like, I don't know. We love doing this. We love it. Like, this is like what we love to do. So it's like, end of the day, it's like, I don't care. I like doing it. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what it comes down to. One other thing I wanted to mention about the whole negativity thing is I think one of the biggest things for me is when someone thinks they know you. Yeah. When someone thinks they have it all figured out, and really, like, we show you, like, you know, snippets of our life. Like, we don't have a camera on all the time rolling, like a surveillance camera, right? Mm-hmm. And so it always is funny to me how people can take things and think they just understand and just, you know, completely 100% know what the situation is from little snippets of things. And sometimes honestly, most of the time when we get a negative comment that's like that, we are like, how and where did they get any of this information? Right. Like, it's like, it's the funniest, weird, it's so comical that we laugh about it as we're deleting it. Because it's just like, this is the weirdest thing that people feel like they know us, and they know everything about us to say this thing.
Right.
I think that's, I don't know if you'll ever get used to negative comments, never get used to any of that kind of stuff, but I think how you deal with it is what you can do.
Yeah.
You can't change the negative, you can't whatever, but you can change how you respond. I think that's the biggest thing is the
And then
response.
one thing I love too, I think Adam told us this, Adam Legg from Lake Life, if you guys follow them, but he was sharing, like, don't listen to people that you would not ask advice from.
Yeah.
Basically, like, why would you take something somebody else says and like take it to heart when like you would never even consider asking for this person's advice on anything? Like,
Yep.
you really value their opinion, and this could be a stranger or somebody you know what I mean?
Yep.
Because sometimes it's even more hurtful when you hear negative things from people you know, but it doesn't mean I would ever ask them for their opinion in my life because I don't really value it.
Yeah.
Nothing against them, but it's just like there are those people that I really value what their thoughts are, and some I don't. So I thought that was really good too. So
Yeah. Good question.
yeah. What's one thing you learned with Junie that you wish you'd known with your first two kids?
Good question.
Yeah. Well, we talked about things we would buy with our first two kids. To start off, we were joking about
Oh my gosh.
the baby Breeza and the Duna stroller were like, we didn't have the boys, but those were like game changers. But anyways, with Junie, I would say a lot of it, we were talking about this earlier too, is just not really, I want to say it nicely, not like not caring, but not listening so much to what other people's opinions are about how to.
Well, it's the comparison game.
Yeah.
It's like when
how
you
to
have
do things with
a baby,
raising your kids.
like all of a sudden everyone and their mom comes out of the woodworks and basically has to like push their. It's not just like advice. It's pushing their opinion on you, and everyone's comparing how you parent, what you do, and what you buy, and what you get, and how everything.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
And the whole. I mean, it's crazy. So if you're soon to be mom, soon to be parents, watch out for that because it comes out hard.
And people you would never think, and you'd be friends with for years, and then once you become a parent, or they were a parent before you, I don't know. It's just like, this is what you need to do, or you can't do this, or don't do that. It's just
not even parents. That's what's funny to me is there were some people that weren't even parents that were throwing down like, you should be doing this. I'm like, excuse me, like, I'm sorry, but like, you don't have any kids.
Yeah.
Like,
and I feel like with Landon, we were like, oh really? Because we didn't know, we didn't have a kid, so I'm like, okay. And then we would kind of put things into play, and I'm like, this is not working for our family, this is not working for Landon. And then we were like, you know what? Like, let's make our own rule book.
Yeah, because then you kind of feel bad. You're like, are we not good parents? Are we not doing this right? Like, because you're trying to like do everything everyone's telling you to do. And this is the thing. I'm not saying like to live on an island.
No, not at all.
Like, I 100% believe in community and getting advice and coming around people. But I think the thing is,
and if people have amazing tricks to help your teething baby, I'm like, tell me them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not stuff like that's helpful.
It's more the people who, and these people, but it's basically they take the right away for you to say no. It's like, you have to do this.
Right.
You have to do these things. I'm like, actually, I don't have to do these things. Yeah. And I think learning, because that's manipulation. Mm-hmm. It's basically, the manipulation is taking the ability for you to say, oh, what is it? The right away. I can't even talk.
Taking away your right to say no.
Yeah, that's manipulation in a nutshell. And I felt like that's it. Is like with Junie, it's like we're just like, no, that's great. I'm glad that worked for you guys, but like, that's not gonna work for us, and we're okay. Actually, I guess we just kind of dimmed it out more than anything.
I really like, before it was noise, and now like we were talking about, like, I'm like, I don't even hear it anymore, because if it does, like, if somebody wants to try to share their opinion but put it on me, like, it honestly now goes through one ear and right out, and I'm like, it doesn't faze me anymore, because I'm like, I don't. And again, like Justin was saying, it's not like a thing of like, we don't think we need to change, or we know it all. It's nothing like that. We're all about
change. We're all about.
I'm all about new tips.
But this is it. This is what I want to say. We kind of have discernment now with Junie, as far as if this is someone coming in a place of like actual genuine concern, or like, hey, like I have this really cool thing, whatever, versus the person who has a hidden agenda with it.
Right.
And I think that's what we've learned with Junie, is that we've just been able to, with 2 kids, we've learned the discernment of who's actually on our side here and genuine about it, and who is just trying to like push their agenda. Yeah. I really think that's what we've learned.
Yeah, I feel like it's taken me more time than you for sure, because I feel like I get the guilt, you know, like I'm not doing good enough, I'm not good enough mom, so there are those moments. But overall, like I've felt way better this time around with Junie, just in the decisions we've made with her than I did with the boys, because I know, you know, we've been through it before, but also because like we've just learned together, like, to make these decisions for our kids. At the end of the day, like, we pray about it. We love our kids more than anybody else. And so it's just funny to me that complete strangers will say things to you. And you're like, we love our kids more than anybody else. Like, don't you think we, you know, would think about these things? So it's just interesting, but I don't know. So I guess with Junie, it's just come to the point where, like, we've let it roll off our shoulder more and laugh about it and not let it get to us, as before it was like, it was hard.
Well, it was toxic. I mean, like the fact that you had mom guilt because you weren't doing something that someone else said that you should do, and if you don't do it, then basically you're doing it wrong. It's like, wait a second, what?
Right.
But the funny thing is, with everyone's opinion, someone else has the opposite opinion, right? That's just with everything. Yeah. So it's like, I was talking to my buddy today, like Lacey was talking about with who's having a kid, and one of the things I told, because he was asking like advice and all that kind of stuff, and I said, you know, like, one thing I think is so special is you two, as a married couple, get to experience this new adventure yourselves, and really like learn to communicate in different ways, and like things are going to be new. And I think that's the thing, is like we learned so much because it was so new, and we had to just like go for it, and we learned, and I think that's with everybody. I mean, like, when you do that, you pick up some really cool tricks in the way and whatever, and you want to be able to share those tips and tricks with people. Yeah. For sure. And I think that's at the heartbeat, that's great. But when it turns into this judgy thing,
like, I do it better.
Like, I do it better, or if you don't do it, then you're doing it wrong. That's the motive that we've tuned out. We're like,
I'm like,
we don't need that.
No,
if it's someone who's like, hey, I learned this, and we're like, oh, I'm all ears. Like, let's talk about this. And there's people in our life that we have all open doors with, as far as any opinion they have, because we have a rapport, we have a relationship with them. Yeah. But there's people we've shut, you know, and it's just the reality of that.
Right.
And I think that's okay. There's healthy boundaries that have to be set up sometimes.
Not a question, just a huge thank you for your fun, uplifting channel. Oh, thank you. That was nice.
That was nice.
Next Friday Night Live. We should do that. We have a cookbook, a really cool Disney cookbook.
Oh man, they know.
So if you saw that, we got it at Costco. So we've got the recipes. We just need to figure out a date and which one. But I think
it's gonna happen soon.
I think it'll happen soon.
Let's just say this month. Let's just put it out there.
Okay.
This month.
Okay, let's do it. Goals for your channel in the next year. That's deep.
Oh wow.
You ready for that or no?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. I think for us, like, we just love doing this. Like, we love picking up the camera and filming. We love day in life vlogs. We love to travel and to show those. We love to interact with you guys. We love to we love our podcast. Like, we love it's a creative outlet that we get to have together. And
sorry, I was just talking to someone about this the other day. Oh yeah, it was your friend that used to work with Apple with we were talking about our YouTube channel, and I was like, it's really honestly changed our life in a really good way. She's like, that's so cool. Like, it really has.
Shout out to Amanda.
Yeah, it was Amanda. Yeah, but I was like, it's really like our life has really changed from this, but in a really cool way.
In a cool way. We cannot imagine our lives without YouTube anymore, because it's been. And I think that's the thing. It's like it was never about the money. It was never about making money or whatever. It was never about brand deals. It was never about building a production company. Yeah. It wasn't about any of that. It was about us just picking up a camera and doing something creative together. because I had my own projects, she had her own projects, and something about coming together and brainstorming, having conflict that creates creativity, like all those things have been so good in our marriage to be able to work things out with, and then to drive really this, you know, this channel.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I guess to answer your question, our goals is just to keep, like, always have that, you know, as like our passion point.
Yeah.
I know that's not really like a smart goal, if you will, but I mean, we definitely have like metric goals and stuff like that, but you know.
No, but I know what you're saying, because at the heartbeat of it, when we get like comments I just read, or just people saying like how they were having a really hard day, and you know, or you know, our channel got them through the week, or just something like that. We're like, we just guys, we're always like, this is why we do it, and it's so cool that like relationships.
There was someone that
made through this
that lost her husband.
Yeah.
And she said that our channel was like basically like, I don't know,
brought her like joy during that hard time, and I was like, what? Oh my gosh, like, so that kind of thing is just blows my mind.
We have someone else right now, and that who's literally like in the hospital getting treatment right now, and it's just like watches our videos, and that helps her get through like, you know, the days and stuff.
Yeah, it just brings a little joy to their day. I'm just like, I just feel like humbled by that kind of thing 100%. Because I'm like, wow.
Like, number one, who are we? Like, yeah, we're just like, I mean, we're literally driving around talking about whatever, but I don't know. I guess that's always that, is always trying to make sure that we are, you know, I mean, I feel like one of the goals I always have on YouTube is to try to keep up with the comments as much as I can. I feel like we're getting to the point where it's getting harder and harder, especially if putting up more content. But I want you guys to know we read every single one of them. We 100% do, and we try to get back. But I guess that's the big goal for me, is like to always feel like you know,
replying to comments more, and
just to engage, like, you know, this is a special community and that we get to have, and we're blessed by that and honored to have that. And so I think that's a good goal. That's a good goal. There's other little things in that too, but I think that's the biggest one, is that we keep this like our creative, like, it's just fun for us, you know. Always, we never want to do it because we have to, you know what I mean? So it keeps it fun, and then also like really you guys, it's just to engage in different ways and stuff. Yeah.
So somebody asked, is Cass our live-in babysitter? She is not.
You should explain who Cassidy is.
Yeah, so Cassidy,
I feel like every single video we're getting comments of like who Cassidy is.
Yeah. So if you're newer to the channel,
who's
Cassidy,
this girl
like,
always
who
there?
Is this person? So Cass is my younger sister, and she lives with us because she was wanting to move out.
Things are so expensive. Yeah. Like, you know, it is right now. And so we had an extra bedroom.
And we wanted to put in a bathroom upstairs anyways. We talked about that, and we're like, well, that'll work out for a great room for her. So she moved in with us, and she also goes on all of our trips with us usually, for the most part.
I would have to say, though, like, before her moving in, like, she's just been kind of part of our family for, you know, ever. And the boys look at her like, yes, auntie, but more of an older sister at the same time. So it wasn't like that weird of a transition of her, like, not living to living. So anyway.
Yeah. And she loves to travel too, so it's nice because she goes on trips with us. She helps us out with the kids, which is amazing. So we're able to do things out together. And then she loves to travel. She loves Disney. So
we had a comment a while back about like nervous about taking kids on the cruise or something like that. And like it just reminds you, we don't have an Aunt Cass. I was like, yeah. That's hilarious.
That's funny.
Okay, I feel like we're gonna have to address this because we've gotten like, I don't know how many comments.
A lot of comments. Any Disney trips in the near future?
Multiple Disney trips, Disney cruises, Disney vacation trips. A lot of questions regarding Disney. This is the thing. We're actually, Lacey and I were talking the other day. We went on a little coffee date. Thanks to Aunt Cass, staying with the boys. And we were just kind of like discussing like every spring break, for the last several years, we plan a Disney trip, and then we kind of like either it's a Disney cruise or Disney World, Disneyland, and we just, you know, it's just been a thing. Yeah. But now that Lacey's not teaching, and that's the reason why we did it, is because Lacey was teaching, and the boys are at an age right now where it's like we can pull them out of school anytime. But we're like, we don't need to go over spring break anymore. we can go. We don't need to,
Yeah.
like, you know, and so we could go on times that are not so expensive,
Right.
because everything's just, you know, I mean, really, it's the plane tickets that get crazy. Anyway, it's a whole other story. So anyway, all that being said, we realized, because normally it would have been like, well, yeah, next spring break we're definitely doing this, and maybe we'll throw in a Disneyland trip, you know, before that. I don't know, but now it's like, well, we don't need to wait for spring break. So that all being said, there is something in the works, because we always firmly believe we always need to have a Disney trip in the books. It's kind of our motto we live by.
It was in our
vows.
In our vows.
Like, we always have to have a Disney trip in the books.
Joking.
Completely joking.
Yeah.
But there is a couple in the books. Like, we haven't, like, firmed all the details and stuff, but yeah, it's definitely gonna happen. I mean, like, we love Disney. So anyway, great question. That's all we're gonna share right now, because yeah, there's, I mean, that's,
we don't have everything nailed down. And we don't want to say it, and then by chance our kids hear it, and they're like, what? We're not.
But
why are we doing
I can
that?
tell you this, it probably won't be during spring break.
Right.
So.
Somebody else on the same topic asked us, where is it? Oh, do you want to go to Alani? Yes.
Oh my goodness. Is that an invitation?
Times 1,000.
Are you inviting us to go? Oh my gosh.
We would love to. I'm a huge American Idol fan, and they always go there for, like, when they get their top 20 or whatever, and I'm always like, I want to go to Alani.
We want to so
it
bad.
Looks so beautiful. So and we love Hawaii.
It's definitely
and we love Disney, so it's just like the perfect marriage.
And we kind of want to do it when the boys are still kind of younger-ish.
Yeah.
So, but maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a good when they're a little older-ish too. I don't know. I don't know. We love Hawaii. We love Disney, so it's like a perfect match, right?
I just said that, but I said marriage. Did you hear me?
Are you serious?
I said we love Hawaii. We love Disney.
I was passing it semi, so.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm paying attention to the road. That's a pretty important thing on a road trip.
This question's for me. Lacey, will you be able to teach the grade you taught before maternity leave when and if you go back?
Yes.
So.
And no.
So I taught kindergarten before I went on maternity leave, and if I go back, and when that happens, I don't know, I actually do not want to teach kindergarten, and I actually told my principal that. Loved it, but I'm just ready, especially because I've been subbing a lot in different grade levels.
Like, yeah, that was really good you did that.
And I'm so glad, because I was like, oh, I loved 5th, I loved 3rd, and it was funny because, like, as much as those little kindergartners, I just, like, oh my gosh, they're just the sweetest. Like, my cup was so filled with teaching, because I was like, I actually was able to get through, like, our curriculum and topics and, like, things that I could not do with kindergarten, because there's so much more of, like, behavioral things, or blowing noses, or helping with tying shoes, you know, because they're kindergartners. So I'm ready to do something a little different, but so I'd like to do maybe 2nd, 3rd, I don't know, around there, but yeah.
But as of right now, like, I think we already mentioned this in another question, but you're not going back right away.
Yeah.
We don't really have, like, a date when you go back. I think the thing is she's going to continue subbing.
Being a sub list, yeah. Because
I think, I mean, Lacey just likes teaching. Like,
yeah.
Reality of that, but it's not like we need, like, she needs to sub or anything like that. It's more of, like, you like to.
Yes.
Which is kind of a cool spot to be.
Yeah.
You know, to be like, you don't need a sub for money, but you're able to help out the school, but also because you really enjoy doing it.
Yeah. And it's fun to, like, see Landon at school and stuff too.
Yeah,
so
that's really cool.
But yeah, I don't have any plans on going back this next school year. I'll probably continue with Junie being young, like, just staying home with her and working and editing.
And
so
Junie's high maintenance.
I mean,
she's just like, you know,
she's your daughter. So quite a few of you guys asked how we met. We have a vlog of that, so we'll link that below to give more details. But Justin and I met in high school.
We did.
To give a short answer, but if you want to hear all the lovey-dovey details, you can watch that vlog.
There's a lot of those.
On how we met. Next question. Are you happy with the size of your YouTube community? What's your subscriber goal?
That's a great question. Yes. We are 100% happy with the size of our YouTube community.
As we shared before, we can't keep on track of like comments right now. So
we never thought we would ever surpass, you know, a couple hundred, I guess, when we first started our channel.
Yeah.
So the fact that you guys watch our videos every single week blows our mind. And like, we're so thankful for that. And so it's like, whatever size community that we have on YouTube is, we look at it, that's the season that we're in, and we're excited about it. Like,
yeah.
And however, if that grows, if it doesn't grow, if we get no more subscribers ever, we are 100% content.
Yeah.
If we get a lot more subscribers, we're 100% content. Like, we're just excited about the seasons that we're in, and we don't want to take those for granted. So I think that's the cool thing about it. Okay, we paused the video because we're at a rest stop. We're gonna hang out for, I guess, go to the bathroom and stuff. But we wanted to finish out this video because I think we've been filming for a while. Anyway, so yeah, we are completely content. As far as YouTube goals, like subscriber channel goals, honestly, like I don't really know. And I guess we're however, wherever and however and whenever and all the whatevers happens to the channel, we're excited for.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that answers that question. I think there was another question that I think this is the one we're gonna end with. Well, there's a couple we're gonna end with. There was one that said, like, if we can go anywhere in the world, where would we go?
Yeah.
All expenses paid, whatever. That's a very, very, very hard question for me. But I think what I would have to say is we always wanted to go to Disneyland Paris, Disneyland Hong Kong, and Disneyland Tokyo. And I think that's what we would, if it was all expensive cost, it'd be so cool to be able, all expensive cost. It would be cool to do all of those. You know what I mean? Just like boom, 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 and just hit this huge tour of, you know,
that would be really
that'd be
cool.
fun.
And then what are your travel plans for the rest of 2023?
Well, I'm going to Romania in like 2 months, actually. So there's that. And that will be like, you know, probably my international travel for the year. We have a couple things that we will discuss and get back to you on that. But for sure, Romania is in like 2 months. So yeah. That's all we have for right now. But anyways, guys, I think this video is long enough, and we don't want to bore you guys anymore. And hopefully the road noise wasn't bad, and hopefully the shake wasn't bad. But if it is, I'm sorry.
Ready to stretch your legs?
Ready to stretch your legs, bud? Anyways, guys, we're gonna stretch our legs.
Yes.
We love you guys so much. Thank you again for asking all these great questions. And again, if we didn't get to those questions, still thank you for asking them. And seriously, whenever we ask for questions, it's so awesome, like the response we get. We appreciate it. You want to say bye, Tucker?
Bye.
Bye. Love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.